The flickering glow of a projection screen has a strange, almost hypnotic power over the human psyche, acting as a portal that transports us across time, space, and emotion. For generations, dark theaters have served as modern sanctuaries where strangers gather in the dark to share collective dreams, heartbreaks, and triumphs. We surrender ourselves to the celluloid frame, allowing light and shadow to dictate the rhythm of our heartbeats and the depth of our breaths. It is a profound psychological contract we sign the moment the lights dim, consenting to let a sequence of moving images tear down our emotional defenses. Some films merely entertain us for a brief moment before fading into the background noise of our daily lives, while others weave themselves permanently into the fabric of our personal identities. They become landmarks of our personal histories, forever tied to who we were, what we felt, and who we aspired to be when we first witnessed their magic. This enduring, almost sacred connection to the silver screen is what separates the casual viewer from the true devotee of the cinematic art form. To truly love cinema is to understand that movies are not just passive distractions, but living, breathing monuments of human expression that hold up a mirror to our deepest fears and highest aspirations. As we embark on this deep exploration of cinematic perfection, consider joining our community by subscribing to the channel to ensure you never miss our deep dives into the stories that shape our world. The journey into the heart of cinematic excellence requires us to examine why certain fleeting moments on screen refuse to leave our minds, occupying our thoughts completely free of rent for years after the credits roll. Think of the delicate tactile intimacy of a pottery wheel turning in the quiet night, where two souls connect through the simple shared molding of clay, creating a physical manifestation of love that transcends the boundaries of life and death itself. Consider the raw, unbridled kinetic energy of a young man exploding across the manicured green landscape of a golf course, his physical movement a desperate, theatrical expression of teenage angst and existential confusion that perfectly captures the turbulent transition into adulthood. Reflect upon the chilling, unforgettable visual of a seemingly mundane, sharply cut hairstyle on an enigmatic hostess whose welcoming smile slowly dissolves into something deeply unsettling, proving that the most terrifying monsters are often the ones who invite us into their homes with open arms. Even the most devastating narratives, those structural tragedies that deliberately rip our hearts out and crumble them into a million microscopic pieces through the brutal, unrelenting weight of family legacy and physical sacrifice, possess a strange and haunting beauty. These diverse fragments of celluloid history, spanning across genres, eras, and tones, share a common thread of absolute creative conviction that resonates across the human experience. True cinematic perfection is an elusive, almost mythical standard that directors, writers, and actors spend their entire lifetimes chasing, often in vain. It requires a flawless alignment of disparate artistic disciplines where the cinematography, the musical score, the screenplay, and the performances merge into a singular, unstoppable force of nature. When this alignment occurs, the medium of film transcends its technical limitations, transforming from a mere sequence of photographed frames into a profound emotional reality that feels more real than the world outside the theater doors. For the dedicated cinephile, identifying these rare masterpieces is not merely a hobby but a moral duty, a sacred obligation to catalog and preserve the very peak of human creative achievement. It is a quest to separate the fleeting trends of popular culture from the timeless monuments of art that will continue to speak to audiences centuries from now. We must ask ourselves what it truly means for a film to be perfect, and whether such a flawless state is even achievable, given the inherently messy, collaborative nature of filmmaking. The answer lies not in the absence of flaws, but is the presence of an overwhelming, undeniable artistic truth that captures the essence of what it means to be alive. To appreciate the heights that cinema can reach, one must first understand the vast and complex machinery that operates behind the scenes, transforming raw ideas into enduring cultural myths. Every line of dialogue, every camera angle, and every sudden shift in lighting is a deliberate choice designed to manipulate our emotions and guide our subconscious understanding of the narrative. The true masters of the craft are like magicians, directing our attention with one hand while subtly reshaping our reality with the other, creating illusions so powerful that we willingly mistake them for absolute truth. They understand that a perfect movie is a delicate ecosystem where even the smallest detail can disrupt the balance, meaning that every single element must be precisely tuned to support the overarching vision. It is this obsessive attention to detail that elevates a film from a simple piece of entertainment to a profound work of art capable of changing the way we view the world around us. As we prepare to unveil the definitive selection of these flawless cinematic achievements, we invite you to reflect on your own journey through the world of film and question how many of these definitive masterpieces you have truly witnessed. The stage is set, the curtains are drawn, and the exploration of ultimate cinematic perfection is about to begin, revealing the secrets behind the movies that have permanently altered the course of cultural history. The architecture of a flawless narrative demands an unyielding commitment to structural integrity, where every escalating conflict and character revelation serves a grander thematic design. To understand the apex of filmmaking, we must dissect the mechanics of tension, that invisible thread that tightens around the audience, suspending time and forcing a collective breathlessness within the theater. Tension is not merely born from sudden shocks or explosive confrontations, rather, it is cultivated through the slow, deliberate accumulation of atmospheric pressure, the silent spaces between words, and the heavy anticipation of an inevitable reckoning. Consider the mastery required to sustain an audience on the absolute precipice of emotional collapse, where the stakes are elevated so high that every shifting glance or whispered confession feels like a seismic event. This heightened state of cinematic reality is precisely where the true power of the medium manifests, transforming passive spectators into active participants who feel the weight of the characters' struggles as if they were their own. The greatest directors understand that tension is a physical currency, a force that must be carefully managed, accumulated, and released at the exact moment of maximum psychological impact to achieve true narrative catharsis. When we examine the history of these cinematic monuments, we observe a fascinating evolution in how storytellers manipulate the visual medium to reflect the internal chaos of the human condition. In the early days of cinema, creators relied heavily on overt theatricality and grand physical gestures to communicate depth, but as the art form matured, the focus shifted inward, toward the subtle complexities of the human face and the psychological resonance of the environment. A perfect film utilizes its setting not merely as a passive backdrop, but as an active antagonist or a silent confidant shaping the behavior and choices of the individuals trapped within its borders. Whether it is the claustrophobic sun-drenched expanse of an isolated desert landscape, the rain-slick neon alleyways of a dystopian metropolis, or the oppressive, wood-paneled walls of a suburban home, the environment speaks volumes where dialogue fails. The camera becomes an omniscient observer, tracking the slow unraveling of carefully constructed facades and exposing the raw, unvarnished truths that lie beneath the surface of polite society. This meticulous synthesis of geography and psychology ensures that the narrative tension remains taut, drawing the viewer deeper into a manufactured reality that feels terrifyingly authentic. At the very core of this narrative alchemy lies the human element, the vessels through which these grand artistic philosophies are brought to life. The collaboration between a visionary director and a fully committed actor is a rare and volatile alchemy, capable of producing performances that transcend the boundaries of the written script. When an actor truly inhabits a role, they cease to merely recite lines and instead become a living embodiment of the human spirit, channeling complex histories, suppressed desires, and existential dread into a single, unbroken take. We see this level of devotion in the physical transformations that demand an immense toll on the human body, where performers push themselves to the absolute limits of endurance to honor the legacy of the real-world figures they represent. We see it in the quiet, understated portrayals where a single teardrop or a momentary hesitation conveys a lifetime of unspoken grief and longing. These performances do not exist in a vacuum. They are supported by a rigorous framework of blocking, lighting, and sound design that elevates every emotional beat into a monumental experience. It is this profound synergy between the human form and the mechanical eye of the camera that cements a film's place in the pantheon of absolute perfection. To truly appreciate the depth of these masterpieces, one must also recognize the auditory landscape that breathes life into the visual frame, acting as the invisible heartbeat of the cinematic experience. A brilliant musical score does not merely accompany the images on screen, it actively converses with them, providing counterpoint, foreshadowing tragedy, and amplifying the unspoken interior lives of the characters. The absence of sound can be just as powerful as a full orchestral crescendo, as the sudden imposition of absolute silence can shock the system, forcing the viewer to confront the stark, unfiltered reality of a devastating moment. Sound design operates on a subconscious level, planting seeds of unease or comfort long before the mind consciously registers the cause, manipulating our physiological responses with terrifying precision. When a film achieves a flawless equilibrium between what is seen and what is heard, the resulting sensory immersion is absolute, trapping the audience within a meticulously crafted reality from which there is no desire for escape. This total command over the human senses is the defining hallmark of the cinematic elite, a testament to the limitless potential of the medium when guided by hands of unparalleled genius. As we advance deeper into the core of our cinematic chronicle, the tension continues to mount, mirroring the structural progression of the very masterpieces we honor. We begin to see the connective tissue that links these disparate stories together, revealing a shared obsession with the exploration of ambition, sacrifice, and the haunting beauty of the human struggle. The films that achieve perfection are those that refuse to provide easy answers, instead choosing to leave the audience lingering in the complex gray spaces of morality and emotion. They challenge our preconceptions, disrupt our comfort, and force us to look inward at our own vulnerabilities and hidden desires. The anticipation builds as we prepare to transition from the theoretical underpinnings of greatness into the raw, unfiltered reality of the specific films that have earned this legendary status. The ultimate revelation draws near, promising to illuminate the definitive works of art that every true lover of cinema must experience to fully comprehend the heights to which human creativity can soar. The final revelation of cinematic perfection brings us face to face with the definitive masterpieces that have permanently redefined the landscape of visual storytelling, demonstrating how individual creative journeys culminate in timeless cultural monuments. To look closely at these films is to witness the ultimate realization of artistic ambition, where the raw vulnerability of the human experience is captured and preserved forever in the medium of light. Consider the profound impact of narratives that delve deep into the multi-generational struggles of family life, where the weight of expectations and the pursuit of greatness demand a devastating physical and emotional toll. The journey of these characters is often a grueling marathon through tragedy, a testament to the resilient yet fragile nature of human bonds when tested by the unrelenting pressure of legacy. These stories resonate so deeply because they mirror our own internal battles, forcing us to confront the steep price of our dreams and the inherent pain of love and loss. The creators of these works do not shy away from the darkest corners of existence. Instead, they illuminate them with a brilliant, unyielding honesty that elevates the specific trials of their heroes into universal parables for all of humanity. The enduring relevance of these perfect films lies in their ability to survive the passage of time, remaining as vital and shocking to contemporary audiences as they were on the day of their initial premiere. They serve as historical markers that capture the anxieties, hopes, and artistic breakthroughs of their respective eras, while simultaneously speaking to the permanent, unchanging truths of human nature. The filmmakers who achieve this level of excellence are often those who took immense creative risks, defying the conventional wisdom of their time and pushing the technical boundaries of the medium to its absolute limits. Their journeys were defined by an obsessive, almost fanatical devotion to a singular vision, overcoming budget constraints, skeptical executives, and the sheer logistical chaos of the production processes to deliver something truly miraculous. When we watch the final product, we are witnessing the triumph of human willpower over the chaotic forces of reality, a physical manifestation of an artist's soul captured on celluloid. This is why cinema matters on a fundamental level. It is a testament to our capacity to create meaning out of chaos, to forge deep connections across vast divides of time and culture through the shared language of images. To fully understand the heights of this art form, one must examine the specific trajectories of the heroes who populate these narratives. Individuals whose cinematic journeys serve as mirrors for our own personal evolutions. Whether they are tragic figures trapped in a downward spiral of their own making, or ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances that force them to discover hidden depths of strength, their paths are marked by profound transformation. A perfect film ensures that this evolution feels entirely earned, mapping out every psychological shift and emotional breakthrough with meticulous precision so that the final climax carries the weight of an absolute truth. The actors who embody these roles undergo an emotional transfiguration, leaving a piece of themselves within the frame to ensure that the audience feels the raw reality of their joy, their terror, and their grief. It is this absolute authenticity that allows these characters to step off the screen and live permanently in our collective cultural memory, becoming reference points for how we understand courage, sacrifice, and the complex nature of human relationships. As we look back at the entire tapestry of cinematic perfection we have explored, the interconnectedness of these distinct works becomes undeniably clear, revealing a grand, continuous conversation about the human condition. From the quietest, most intimate romantic interactions that celebrate the transcendent power of connection, to the explosive high-energy spectacles that capture the vibrant chaos of youth and ambition, each film contributes a vital chapter to the ongoing story of human creativity. The elaborate, carefully constructed thrillers that masterfully toy with our perceptions and keep us on the absolute edge of our seats remind us of the incredible psychological power of the medium, while the devastating family dramas offer a profound space for collective mourning and emotional catharsis. These films do not merely occupy our time, they expand our capacity for empathy, challenging us to see the world through the eyes of others and to recognize the shared vulnerabilities that unite us all. They are the standard by which all future artistic endeavors must be measured, a shining beacon of what is possible when human genius, technical mastery, and raw emotional honesty converge into a single work of art. Our comprehensive journey through the upper echelons of cinema now reaches its natural conclusion, leaving us with a renewed appreciation for the magicians behind the camera and the unforgettable icons before it. The definitive list of perfect movies stands not as a rigid, unyielding decree, but as an open invitation to dive deeper into the vast ocean of visual storytelling and discover the narratives that speak directly to your own soul. Having journeyed through the atmospheres of tension, structural brilliance, and emotional devastation that define these masterpieces, you are now equipped to look at the silver screen with the refined eye of a true cinephile. The final credits may roll, the house lights may slowly rise, and the physical theater may return to silence. But the magic of these perfect films remains alive within us, continuing to shape our thoughts, inspire our dreams, and live rent-free in our heads forever. The exploration of cinematic excellence is a lifelong pursuit, an ongoing adventure with countless masterpieces still waiting to be discovered, analyzed, and cherished in the endless sanctuary of the dark.